guys, welcome back again to another Tech Guru video. Today we are in Adobe Photoshop. I am going to be showing you a quick tutorial on how to make a nice neon text effect. So this is somewhat of what our final product will be here. As you can see, it's got a nice neon shape and glow to it. So let's go ahead and jump into a new project and go ahead and start doing the neon text. So I've got a new project open here, and you want to fill your background layer with a nice dark color. It can have a gradient to it, but you don't want it to be too flashy, and you do not want it to take away from your neon text. So the first thing that we want to do is grab our text tool, and once we have the text tool selected, we want to go ahead and type out some text. Now, I recommend you go to dafont.com and download the Neon 80s font style. You can use other fonts, but it may not turn out exactly like this. I'm just going to show you the different layer stylings on how to make the font look as a neon font. So go ahead and go to dafont.com, search for Neon 80s font, download that, and then use it within your project. If not, use whatever font you want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and type out my text here. I'm going to go ahead and type out Tech Guru 77, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and place this text exactly where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and center it in the page as good as I can here. And it really doesn't matter what color it is now because we're going to adjust it here in a few seconds. Now, I'm going to be doing all of this with layer effects. So if you do not know how to add a layer effect, I am about to show you. So we have our layer selected, which is our text layer, which it says Tech Guru 77 over here in the layers panel. We want to double click on that layer. So go ahead and double click that layer now. Now, once you've double clicked on that layer, it will then present you with the layer styling panels. Now, all of these over here on the left are the different layer styles in which you can add to your text. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the step-by-step instructions on how to make neon text. The first thing that we want to do is add a gradient overlay. All right, so go ahead and click on Gradient Overlay. Now, once you're in Gradient Overlay, you want to change the style to Reflected. It is the fourth one down here, second from the bottom. Go ahead and click on the Reflected Style. Now, once you've changed the style to Reflected, you want to change your scale to 50%. I recommend going over here and typing it in manually. If you click the drag icon here, sometimes it doesn't go exactly the way you want it. So once we do that, we then want to edit our colors. In order to edit our colors, we just need to click on the gradient up here, the little color swatch here, and we want to add our colors. Depending on what color of neon text you want to create, you can pick the colors yourself. As you saw earlier, I did a green neon effect. I'll do a nice pink neon effect here. So let's go ahead, and what we want to do is on one side we want it to be a light pink, and on the other side we want it to be somewhat of a darker pink. So go ahead and select a color pink that will be a, go ahead and click on the swatch in which you want to add the color pink to, which is right down here, the white color. Go ahead and add the light pink to that color. Go ahead and click on the black swatch here on the far left and make that your darker pink color. So now that we have our two colors selected, we then can go ahead and click OK. And once we're done with our gradient overlay, we want to dive into our Bevel and Emboss. So go ahead and click on Bevel and Emboss. Once you are in this panel, you then want to change your depth to 150%. So go ahead and type in 150% for your depth, and you want to then change your size to 10 pixels. So go ahead and type in 10 pixels. Once you have done that, the shading down here, as you see the other options, which is the shading, you want to turn off the Use Global Light option. Make sure that is unchecked. And then you want to change your angle right here to 90 degrees. So go ahead and type in 90 degrees. Once you've done that, we then got right down here to the gloss contour. We want to change that over to the ring contour, okay? So go ahead and hover your mouse over the options down here, and eventually you will then see a text come up that will then show you which one you want. You want the ring single right down here. Go ahead and click on that, and then once you've done that, go ahead and click off the screen. Now, you want to then after you have done all of that, check the anti-aliased button right here. Go ahead and click that button, okay? So once we have done all of this within the Bevel and Emboss category, we then want to go over and look at our shadow, okay? Now, what we want to do is we want it to be color burn and the opacity to be 100%. So, what we want to do with that is right here under shadow mode, click on the color burn option and change the opacity to 100%. Now, once we have done that, we then want this color to be a dark pink color since we're doing pink. Now, if you're doing blue, obviously you'll want a dark blue color. So we want to go up here and grab a nice dark pink color. It doesn't have to be too dark, but we want it to be fairly dark and we want it to be a pink color. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that one. Now, you can play around with the pinks however you want. This effect here with this pink may actually give us a nice red effect. I really don't know until we see the end product, but we'll find out here in just a second. So once we've done that, what you want to do is go ahead and click on the contour option under Bevel and Emboss. Now, once you are there, you then want to go and select the Rounded Steps contour. Now, again, just hover your mouse over the contours until the rounded ring option is available. So I'm going right there. Rounded Steps option. Go ahead and click on that and then click off. Once you've done that, you want the range to be changed to 100%. So we've changed that to rounded steps, and our range is now 100%. Now we want to add texture. So click on the texture option under Bevel and Emboss. Once we are under the texture panel, what we then want to do is we want to change our pattern. Now, you have to listen carefully here because the pattern that we're going to select may not be available to you until you do this. If you do not see the option to select this herringbone texture, you need to click on this little swipe arrow here, click on it, go all the way down to the bottom and click Patterns 2. And then it'll say append. You just append that, and then the herringbone option will be available to you. So click on that texture and then click off. Once you've done that, you want to scale this to 50%. So go ahead and type in 50%. You want to change your depth to 5. So go ahead and change your depth to 5. Now, once you've done all of this under Bevel and Emboss, you then want to go to Inner Shadow. So go ahead and select Inner Shadow. Once you do that, you want to change your blend mode to Overlay. So go ahead and change your blend mode to Overlay. You want to then change the opacity to 100%. Once you've changed the opacity to 100%, you then want to change your color to white. So go ahead and find a nice white color and click OK. Once you've done that, you then want to change the distance to 0. You then want to change the choke to 10. And you then want to change your size to 20 pixels. Now, once we have done all of this, we then want to go and we want to add a drop shadow. So once we do that, go ahead and click on the drop shadow option up top, and you want to change the opacity of the drop shadow to 15%, okay? So the opacity of this, actually, you know what? Leave the opacity at 50% for this one, okay? Once you've done that, you want to click off the Use Global Light option here. And then once you have done that, you want to change your angle to 90 degrees. Now that your angle is 90 degrees, you want to change the distance to 6 and the size over here to 4. Now, once we have done all of that, we then want to apply our last layer option here. Go ahead and click on Outer Glow. Once we have Outer Glow selected, we then want to go over and add a linear dodge blend mode. It is this one right here. It says linear dodge. So click on linear dodge. Next thing that you want to do is change this color to somewhat of a baby pink color. So in my case, it will be baby pink, depending on what color you are doing. Okay, a nice light color. So go ahead and click on that and then add a nice pink color to that. And then I'm going to change this other color to maybe this pink color right here. And then I will click OK once my colors are set the way that I want to do. And then I want to change the contour right here to a Gaussian contour. So go ahead and hover your mouse until you find the Gaussian contour. So it may be up here, right there it is, the Gaussian contour, Click off. Once you are done with that, you want to change the size up here. You want to change it to 170, okay? Now, once you have done all of this, you then can click OK, and as you see here, we now have a nice neon effect. Now, depending on what colors you choose within your text, it will obviously be different for different people, but that is the basic step-by-step instructions on how to add neon effects to your text. If you've got any questions, put them in the comment box below. Do not forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and like my videos. And guys, as always, thank you so much for watching my videos, and I will see you guys next time.